Hard to win, and told our guys in our talk before the game that playing Navy, this is the 88th edition of that, for those that were counting, is always going to be a challenge, and we knew this was going to be a challenge. We played a lot of young guys on defense, and we were going to have to outscore them, and that's what it ended up being, a game where we outscored them. And like I said, it's hard to win in college football, so we're happy with the win. We're going to be a better football team because of what transpired out there tonight. We played a lot of young guys that got a chance to compete and find out what it's really like to have eye discipline and to be a sure tackler and to know your assignment and do all the little things necessary to be a better football player. So we'll be a better football team because of tonight's win. And as a coach, that's really all you can ask for, is win a football game and then get a lot of young guys some experience. And then not have to play Navy again until next year, which is, I challenge anybody to put these guys on their schedule. Everybody that, thinks Navy is an easy team to play. It's a very, very difficult. I got some smart defensive coaches back there. Bobby Elliott, one of the better defensive coordinators in the country in the 80s and 90s. He's forgot more football than I know. Brian Van Gorder is an accomplished defensive coordinator at the NFL and college level. Mike Elston's been with me for a long time. These are really good coaches. It's hard to defend what they do at Navy, and my hat goes off to Navy and their coaching staff. They do a great job on offense, and once again, they did a great job. So, with that,
Coach, in the second half, Navy was rolling, putting up points, and at one point in time, you had 3 freshman linebackers in the field. Those last 2 drives you stopped, and it looked like it was Greer and Niles making a lot of plays. Can you just talk about how big it was to have those young kids step up and make plays late? Yeah,
it was Greer, it was Niles, it was Drew, it was Trombetti, and then our veterans out there were Redfield, Jalen Smith, Cole Luke, Anawalu, who just came back from playing wide receiver. So, yeah, I mean, they're running around, and they came off from the sideline, and we were asking them about what they saw, and they were talking about their biology homework. So it was difficult, but they persevered, hung in there, and fought their butts off.
Any update on Joe's status?
Yeah, we'll get a better feel once we get an X-ray and find out. It's an ankle right now. We just don't know what the severity is.
How did you think Niles fared coming in for him?
It's hard to tell, but he runs around, and he's extremely athletic, and as you can see, he gets to the football. But it's hard for me to really determine whether he was on all of his assignments. But he's an extremely the kids love him, and he loves to play the game.
Can you give an overview as to what you tried to do? I mean, pre-game, you had Jalen Smith outside. What was your alignment? What were you trying to do?
Well, I mean, to put Jalen inside, you really lose a kid's athleticism because he's on dive, and if they want to take him out, they just need to veer inside, and you lose him. So, putting him outside, our thought was to get him on QB to pitch so we can duel him and get some more athleticism on the perimeter. So, Brian felt like that was the best place for him to get him on the perimeter, and we kept him to the field for the most part. Drew came into the boundary, and, again, we just felt like moving the pieces around be better to go with maybe Greer because it's a simpler task to be on the fullback than it is to be working out to QB to pitch.
And in layman's terms, you're up 28-7. What kind of adjustments do they make then to make it tough on you?
Well, I mean, we turned the darn ball over right before the half. I'm mad at myself. I mean, we ran a play that, is maybe a little too technical for our guy, to read it the right way. Not the quarterback. We should have had an adjustment with the route, and Everett was anticipating a break, and he didn't get the break, and we turn it over. And I wish I could have had that call back. and that sets up 10 points because we had the momentum. It's 28-7. We go in there and we score, and it's a different ball game. So we kind of let them in it there, and then we kind of mucked it around there at the end and missed a couple of field goals and got a little sloppy in our protection. But other than that, I mean, we were pretty dynamic on offense. I think set a Notre Dame record with 6 touchdowns, 3 rushing, and 3 passing. So, there was a lot of good things offensively.
Talk about Navy coming out in the second half strong, and then you all coming back and resustaining that momentum.
Yeah, I mean, for us, when it comes to Navy, it's, right before the half, we got a young kid and we got 2 freshmen that collide on a wheel route. I mean, they run into each other. Or we get out of the half at 28-7, we're feeling pretty good about ourselves. They come out in the second half, we know they're going to sustain some drives. But now it makes it 28-17. Now it's a different ball game with the score. And then we got caught into some bunch alignments where we couldn't get out on the perimeter and force the football, made some adjustments, and that's where we were able to slow down Navy a little bit for a couple of those series.
Your defensive line, you just talked about moving Isaac inside, Day outside, and also have to go somewhat deep there, and then Justin's play with the pick there toward the end.
Yeah, obviously a big play there, but I think if you back up, it's probably the 2 stops in the fourth quarter leading up before the pick where we kind of slowed down their momentum. They got a little tired. I think we were able to control the line of scrimmage a little bit better later into the fourth quarter. And then moving those guys around, we felt like Utupo gave us a little bit more ability to get off some blocks. Those are big physical kids that can control the line of scrimmage, but maybe not get off blocks the way you need to in this option offense. That was the reason for the flipping of those guys.
Earlier in the week, you had told us you 2 will probably see more action. You did mention Greer Martini. What did you see from him based on what you expected of him?
I didn't mention him because we were still. First of all, I didn't want to tell you everything, and you didn't ask about it. If you asked me about it, I probably would have said something. But I didn't want to really talk about Jalen moving out because I think tactically, that's a major shift from where he was. So Greer is a very smart kid, and his attention to detail is really good, and he's the only guy we have. We don't have anybody else.
On the other side of the ball, it's just 3 games in a row for Terry, and especially in the first half dominating. Did you expect that from him today, going up against 2 years in a row against Navy?
Well, I thought we, I thought we, picked our spots really well in terms of the running game, and forced them to defend the width of the field. Mixed it up pretty good and gave our backs some good looks, and I think our line did what they needed to do to get him going. And then I thought really where he showed himself was maybe that last touchdown, or not touchdown, but where he went out of bounds on the 3. That's the kind of player he is. He can really make some extraordinary plays at times, and I thought that was a big play for us.
When Joe goes down in the 3rd quarter there, who's making the calls out there, who's getting people set up, and how concerned were you about that against Navy?
We went with 1 call the rest of the game. That was it, 1 call. So there was no, it was nothing. Most of the adjustments were being made on the back end by the safeties, and they were either unbalanced, so we were either moving a safety or adjusting a safety, but Niles just needed to line up, and we kept things just really basic.
Anything else?
Good?
Schmidt, Jones, and Waller, Day, Jones, and Waller, anything on them?
Oh, they collided. Big collision. James did not pass his on-field concussion protocol, so he was held out. I don't have any further information relative to where he is right now. He was up singing the fight song in the locker room. I don't know if that's passing the second phase of the concussion test. It looked pretty good to me, but I'm not a doctor. Day, more of a brachial plexus. shoulder, so it looked like he got hit in the shoulder. Seemed to be okay. The guy that we have to be looking at is Schmidt and find out where he is. All right?
Shelby, when he was running off, his arm was a little bit, he was able to go back and play. What does that say about his character?
That's one of our captains. You know, that's our guy, and he played really well tonight. I mean, he got off blocks, and he did exactly what we needed him to do tonight. Came up big for us.
Duran ankle injury?
Yeah, I think he's been nursing a bit of an ankle, and I think a couple of times, I think that's what we saw out there was a couple of ankles that he was fighting through.